TSN hosted the Black and White Gala Dinner, and I was pleased to co-host, along with Canadian racing driver, TSN color commentator Bill Adam, as two very important awards were given out.
Now the Molson Indy Achievement Award. This award goes annually to the individual, group, or organization that has made a major contribution to motorsports in Canada, specifically in the area of Indy Car racing. In the past years, we've seen the likes of Carl Haas, John Frasco, Mario Andretti, Jim Chapman, Dr. Steve Olvey and Dr. Terry Trammell, Rick Mears and Al Unsers up here at our podium. Tonight's winner is a corporation that goes well back before the first Molson Indy, some 30 years ago to be exact, back to the days of and legendary time of Sterling Moss. Now, if you turn your eyes to the screen for your interest and enjoyment, we've prepared a special video that will take you and track you through the significant commitment and all of the accomplishments that have been achieved by tonight's winner of the Molson Indy Achievement Award, Players Limited.
The history of motor racing in Canada really began in 1961. Players Limited has been there all the way. Mosport Ontario, 1961. Sterling Moss won the Players 200 here. They brought the first Formula One race to Canada in 1967.
They're in good shape. They're off.
The 70s brought the Players Challenge Series for Formula Atlantic cars. Future champions such as Bobby Rahal, K.K. Rosberg, Jacques and Gilles Villeneuve learned their craft in these ferociously competitive races before moving on to dominate Indy Car and Formula One. In 1986, Players Limited teamed up with General Motors to raise showroom stock racing to a whole new level. The Players Limited GM Motorsports Series grew into a world-famous finishing school for a generation of Canadian drivers. They proved that a driver capable of winning this series could win anywhere in any car. In 1990, the Players Limited Mondial brought the World Sports Prototype Championship to North America for the very first time for a race at Ile Notre Dame that was won by Mercedes-Benz. They also backed the Grand Prix Players Limited of Trois-Rivières, building that event into one of North America's favorite racing venues. In 1993, they expanded their long-standing sponsorship of Formula Atlantic racing in Canada to become co-title sponsor of the North American Players Limited Toyota Atlantic Series. The cars were Players Blue, and the drivers were Canadians Claude Bourbonnais and Jacques Villeneuve. The 1993 Atlantic season, though, was just a dress rehearsal for an all-out assault on Indy Car racing. The 94 campaign was highlighted by a second at Indianapolis, first at Road America, and the Rookie of the Year title for Villeneuve. They opened the 95 year in fine style with a win in the streets of Miami. However, the biggest win for Players Limited was yet to come, the Indianapolis 500 with Villeneuve at the wheel. But that is not the end of this story. Players Limited is building for the future with its drivers development program. Greg Moore is steamrolling the competition in Indy Lights. When teammate Claude Bourbonnais was forced to miss several races, Trevor Siebert and Bertrand Godin were each given a chance in the series. In Formula Atlantic, David Empringham and Patrick Carpentier, two more Canadian drivers with very bright futures, are both receiving support from Players Limited. Today, Players drivers are leading in all three series. The tradition of excellence does continue. Thank you, Players Limited.